force burner Snowspeeder. You might be thinking, what do I mean? Another force burner Snowspeeder? I haven't built the set yet. And, you know, technically I haven't built the set yet. But we also did build the microfighter version of it prior to its release, which I still think is adorable. And I decided to keep it built until we've actually built the set. Also, on Saturday, we will be building a new Slave 1. If there's any other sets so far, we've built the Juggernaut. We've built the Battle Pack as well, turned it 501st. And now we're building the third of the August sets. We've also got, as well as the Slave 1, the V19 and the MTT. If you'd like to see either of those built on the channel, let me know. And I'll see what we can do about parting it out. The MTT, I definitely want to do similar to today, actually. And build one as the set wants, and one that will match up to Phantom Menace, because the reason we're building two sets today is for Empire Strikes Back. You may or may not know, I think it's like 45 years old this year, something crazy like that. Star Wars has been around for quite some time. So to celebrate, I think adding a recolored force burner, it's not a force burner, is it? What can we call it? Like an ice freezer Snowspeeder, a Hoth themed Snowspeeder from Empire with the brand new UCS ATST. There might be a bit of, you know, proportions off from neither of them being minifigure scale. I don't think the force burner's too far from minifigure scale. Maybe it is minifigure scale. Who are we to know until we've built the set? But the ATST is probably closer to 130, 125 scale. So maybe modifying the UCS set at some point. And that is on my to-do list, building that. And to go along with this, I think that could make some really cool display. Add a little base like we were going to do with the Juggernaut. Maybe that's still happening. And we've got a table centerpiece on our hands. But as you can see on shorts, I am streaming horizontal as well. There is a full stream where you can follow along with the instructions, as you can see just below me on the main stream. Yeah, let's get building. We'll take a little look at this one first before we get into these instructions here. But I'm intrigued at what this is going to be used for. So the force burner Snowspeeder, you might notice that the colors of the Snowspeeder don't match what you probably expected. And that is because the force burner Snowspeeder is from Rebuild the Galaxy Season 2. It's called Pieces of the Past or Bricks of the Past, something like that. And we don't really know what this is going to be used for, honestly. We have no idea the context of this. It's some sort of rebuilt set that we can rebuild the galaxy, you know, that much we know for sure. Hello there, Anakin in the chat. And I'm intrigued to find out what it's for, but we've still got like another month and I'm not waiting that long to build it. So we know what we're aiming towards there. Let's get bag number one, which bag number one, I think is just the speeder at the back. Oh, you know what? We'll build it. You'll see it as we're building it. I'm not going to spoil too much. So here are all the parts from bag number one. Is tiny. Look at that. That ain't too bad. And also stick to the end of the stream, because I did have just before the stream a little parcel arrive. Maybe you know what's in it. Maybe you don't. It is some more new Lego to add to my August haul. But look at that. Look at that. That's really not a lot of pieces. I'm going to go through and count these actually, just to see how many pieces are here. 8, 9, 10, 15. There hasn't been too many new sets up on lego.com since the last stream. I think we saw Wally and 50 pieces or 45. I can't exactly remember. I think we saw Wally, took a look at Wally and something else. I can't remember what the other Lego set was. In fact, I still have the Lego site up here. Oh, but then I have to filter it through. Yeah, we'll have a little look at the end. The Force Burner Snowspeeder is on back ship right now. 8th of August 2025 they're shipping them out, which is crazy. I don't think they thought this was going to be a popular set at all. I think this should be just as popular as most of the others. I'd argue actually, with the battle pack being as expensive as it is, and a lot of us, myself included, waiting for a sale, I wonder if the Force Burner Snowspeeder would be just as popular as the Slave 1 and V19. I have seen a few people buying multiple of the Juggernauts and MTTs. That's crazy. The MTT is a great set, but the Juggernaut, multiple day one, when it's going to be like a third off in a few weeks is absolutely crazy. We do have our Darth Dev back here. The only change that I can see with the new minifigure, actually there is a few changes. So Darth Dev's new minifigure has like a belt on the right side. The arm has switched to grey from black. The arm looks to be, well, the arm looks exactly the same. I don't think they've changed that whatsoever. And there's a fleshy arm on the other side. But we're going to use the Darth Dev from the Falcon as a stand-in. I should also have thought, funnily enough, do have a Jedi Bob minifigure just at the other side of the desk, and that is my custom one. But I didn't pick up Jedi. I didn't pick up many of the other characters. What I'm getting at is I don't have a Sig Greeblin minifigure, so I might go with my Jedi Bob and make this like a villain Snowspeeder. But we've got all the pieces here. The speeder is, you know, pretty sizable. This reminds me of, there was a 4+ set I got a while back for my birthday, I think, or something like that. It might have even been a Christmas. A lot of the 4+ sets, I will admit, used to be stocking fillers. They used to be like the little battle packs, but got a bit more expensive as of late with the Mando N1. Still good stocking filler if you can get them on sale, because 4+ sets don't tend to be too popular with the wider community. I think there's a stigma around the 4+ sets. Same with the 18+ sets, being for adults and being like the creme de la creme of Lego sets. A lot of the 18+ sets, take a look at some of the dioramas we've got. They've all been 18+ sets, yet the tentative boarding, I'd rather have the tentative boarding on display than, who are we going to throw under the bus here? Some of the dioramas have been really good. Yoda's heart I'm yet to build. The pod race diorama looks good on display. It does kind of look, though, like you've taken 2 poly bags and you've made something really good out of the poly bags. Maybe that's the one we're throwing under the bus. I'd rather have the tentative boarding on display than the pod race diorama. But again, it's probably personal preference. I'd rather have 7 minifigures than a set that costs about the same, if not more, with none. Crazy that didn't come with any figures. Definitely should have. Anyhow, yeah, 18+, 4+, it's mainly for the building techniques. There's no reason a diorama can't be 4+, if they have you put one piece on at a time and don't include any small pieces. But Lego have some way of working that out. I don't think we'll ever understand numbers. We've said it before on the channel. We've tried to come up with a game plan that Lego might use. No chance. No idea what goes on behind those closed doors. But I am interested in what this Snowspeeder gets used for in the show, because we're not only getting minifigures, but also brickheads. We're seeing the buildable Chewbacca as well. What's up with a buildable Chewbacca? That's definitely something. Hold on a second. Where are these pieces? Have I missed out? We're missing an entire step. 16. An entire step. That's all right. I can part these out with the parts I've got. Fairly common. But yes, we have no idea what this is going to be used for. The speeder we're building is a part, like the smaller speeder we're building is a part of the larger speeder. When that comes together, hopefully you'll see what I mean. What do we need? We need one of these brackets, a 1x2 clip. Hello there, Kebab Wizard. Welcome back to another stream. Just getting 3 parts that I may have forgotten to get for the speeder. A 1x2 clip and a towel. But I have a feeling, right, that this season is going to delve into... So the villain that we're led to believe that comes in this very set is Jedi Bob's former master. And it's some sort of... I don't want to say Sith Lord, because it's got some purple lightsabers. Really cool purple lightsabers, by the way. The 2 chained nunchuck sabers. Can't wait to see those in action. Hopefully we get those in live action soon. But I think it's something that's just easier to make in animation, isn't it? Like these are. Yeah, that's a good shout. Call him a Grey Jedi. I think we might get a bit more Grey Jedi, because we've seen it with the orange blades for Baylan and Shin in the Ahsoka show, which I wouldn't exactly call them Grey Jedi, but they're definitely not Sith. Maybe they are Grey Jedi. They walk a fine line between, and like I said when Ahsoka was coming out, they're not out for hatred, greed, or just a cool suffering, you know, like Maul and Palpatine were. They're just out for themselves. And I think that's kind of what a Grey Jedi is. Qui-Gon was a bit different. Qui-Gon, a lot of people referred to as a Grey Jedi based on legends and that. And Qui-Gon was out for peace. I don't think Qui-Gon's a Grey Jedi, because a Grey Jedi is almost like a Jedi with no morals. I'd say Anakin Skywalker was a good Grey Jedi. Walked the light, but wasn't afraid to, you know, play around in the dark. Which is where Baylan, Shin, and a lot of these new characters are coming about. Obviously, we have Palpatine and Maul were very good at just being all dark side, total Sith. Anakin was meant to be the epitome for the light, was for quite some time before turning. And I do think that Solitos is going to be some sort of Grey Jedi, you know, something that's not quite Sith, not bled the sabers, but definitely not the hero of the story either. What is interesting to note is Darth Dev here does have a red lightsaber. So Darth Dev's still got the red lightsaber, and Sig Grieblin, who didn't in the first series have a saber, has an orange saber. Spoiler alert for the next bag. We're not that far off, are we? There we go. Spoiler alert. For the next bag, my lightsaber collection is no longer complete. I'm going to need to pick up another lightsaber. Let me bring them out. I've still got both the bricks. So, up to date, I have one of every single Star Wars and other lightsaber blade. These are all the bar elements, and this includes the light up purple Mace Windu, which is exclusive to that minifigure alone. And there's a few other modified hilts that aren't translucent or that glow in the dark, and some of these are from Ninjago as well. But now that orange blade that comes in this set is another brand new bar. We're going to have to grow this out. There is one stud left for this bar element, so I'm going to have to pick this up at some point and have what, like a fourth Snowspeeder. But I'm intrigued to see what other colors Lego would bring, because I wonder if we're going to be getting a new translucent yellow. It only showed up in one DC set. And if Lego do want to give that to Rey, I think the perfect opportunity will arise very shortly. Let's get these both clipped on, pushed all the way forward and angled slightly in. There we go. There is our little speeder, handle and all. And this is where Darth Dev sits. So we'll sit Darth Dev in there. I'm not sure where the lightsabers clip yet. So I'm going to clip that to the back. Whilst Darth Dev is riding along, at least there's somewhere to hold the speeder. Hold the lightsaber, sorry, on the speeder. I don't think that's too bad. Nice little speeder. Still keeps that flame element on the side, which is brick built. Hello there, Hoth 66. And I think that's a nice little speeder. It's about the size of our Microfighter Snowspeeder. Just to show that off, it's a bit longer, in fact. So we're going to push that out of the way. And I think get started on bag 2. All pre-ripped to save having to try it. Look how perfect we got that. To save having to try and perfectly rip them. All right, quite a few bigger elements in this bag. Especially this one. Haven't seen this for a while. And we also need a Lego Star Wars cockpit. Well, this set hasn't been bought. This is parted out by me. And not only does that save me like, what, 45 quid? It means we didn't have to wait until August 8th to build the set. So I won't wait for that long, saying that money can't buy time. So I have designed my own custom cockpit here to resemble the one that Lego have come out with. And not only has that allowed us to create the black and yellow one, but it also allows us to create the recolored cockpit that we'll be using for our Hoth recolor once we build this one. So hopefully this works, and this is sized up as accurately as the Lego version. You can see we've got the yellow cockpits in this. Definitely giving off Blacktron vibes from this cockpit, the black and yellow. In fact, there's a Blacktron set. Let's have a little look here. There is a Blacktron set, quite a small one that came with a little speed. It's not this. It's not the big one. It was a few years ago now. Maybe not available, but it came with a little Blacktron speeder that wasn't far off the Force Burner Snowspeeder. I wonder if this has inspired it some way, because I've seen a lot of like Star Wars Power Miner interceptors and stuff like that, for instance. Definitely think it could have inspired it to some degree. Right. But in the meantime, let's get this built. Hoarder66 bought this set, but probably won't build it for a while, trying to get everything cleaned up and organized before you add any chaos into the mix. I know exactly what you mean. I've spent all morning clearing this desk so I could bring back the desk cam. Hello there, Mr. Vader. And I've actually started a unintentional in the box collection. So we've got one of the May gift with purchases and already closed, and the two sets that have just arrived, I don't see myself building for some time because I do want to get onto some of these new Augur sets. So I've just got these boxes hanging around waiting for, I guess it's quite good. September we got the advent calendars, not much coming there, and then October we've got, does anyone know when the rumored it's not a gingerbread 8080 anymore, it's a gingerbread TIE Advanced, and then there's also possibly an 8080, possibly a TIE Fighter, some sort of gift with purchase or other set coming out. And we've got the UCS Death Star in October, which is tempting. It is very, very tempting, but I got to get all these built beforehand. Definitely making my money's worth on that 3D printer. Yes, so the outline of this is 3D printed with a black filament, and the inside is actually like this translucent plastic material, which was really cool because it's textured as well. And there's little triangles in it if you catch it in the light, which definitely feels like something Blacktron would have on the box or, you know, in the background of a set. But yeah, gotta make every penny count for that. You should design and make some alien heads for Star Wars characters you haven't gotten yet. Yes, I don't think I've done many characters we haven't gotten. I redesigned, I've got a few Skeleton Crew. I tell you what, Skeleton Crew definitely had one or two alien heads. A lot of them are Lego pieces already. Like, I cut off one of the eyes of the Ree's head, that character that loses its eye in the very first scene of Skeleton Crew. And recently I have been redesigning heads. Stay tuned for a few videos of that. I think the very first one I've done, which is up in the eShop at the minute, link in the description, is the Kaminoan. I redesigned the Kaminoan head. So definitely need some heads that Lego haven't done to build our collections. If Lego fans love Lego Fortnite so much, they should make an EE. Oh, if we get an 8080, I'm definitely going to be building an EE. I would love to also rebuild the other one, to be honest. I think that'd be a good idea. Yes, the EE from May's Star Wars season was amazing. Framebrick, hello there. This is the Rebuild the Galaxy Snowspeeder. Yes, we're going to build two of them. The first one is the the Force Burner Snowspeeder, and then the second one is going to be a Hoth Snowspeeder. We're going to recolor it and see how close we can get to a Hoth one. I think it'll be fairly easy. I've lined up a bunch of white and grey bricks and pieces. I think, right, the Empire Strikes Back Snowspeeder, I think it looks better as grey. And I don't know if that's a popular opinion because Lego have done it a lot in white. But model kits, that was a nice crunch. Model kits tend to go with grey over white, and I really do like the look of them. So I've got a bunch of white pieces and grey, mainly grey, so that we can recolor them and hopefully get a nice model for when we get around to building the UCS ATST. Like I said at the start of the stream, if you do want to see the V19 and the MTT, let me know. Maybe we can try and slot them in at some point. Hello there, Rokanova. Welcome. Hello there, Vicky. Hello there, Gen15. Hello there. Nice to see a bunch of you returning. Oh, we got a nice little slope. Something that I have looked through this to get the parts from the build, and I know roughly, you know, where they're going to go based on the shape of a Snowspeeder. But something that I really like about some of these builds is how, even looking at the parts here, you've got a few sloped bricks, but very rarely do you see a brick in a Lego set now. Unless it's City, unless it's something like that. Very rarely do you see a 2x4, maybe a 2x2 gets slotted in, and very rarely a 2x4 will. But, you know, it's so uncommon now. You don't tend to see many of them. What did you miss so far? We have built the little speeder at the front. That's the microfighter that we built a few weeks ago. So far, we've built the speeder for Daft Dev. And I think this clip is going to clip it somehow into the main build. But we're not sure how that goes. Maybe it fits around like that. We'll have to wait and see. One thing I'm curious about is these bits on the speeder. Lego have definitely planned for this, because these front bits aren't as long as they usually are. I didn't say it, but the 4+ set with the Snowspeeder earlier I was talking about had a Hoth bike. And it was fairly similar size to this, but the bars started like back here and then came out. I think the reason the bars are a bit shorter on this one is purely to be as hidden as they can get for the Snowspeeder. Nice to see a load of Lego fans. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I like that. Is the light flickering, or is that just me? No, it's definitely flickering, isn't it? Right, let me see if we wiggle it around a little bit. Oh, no, it's still flickering. Let me unplug it, plug it back in, and then see if we can stop the flickering. There we go. Oh, no. 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 I can't really see it on the screen. Oh. Oh, no. All right, let's sort this out. What is a helicopter? Could you imagine is there a Star Wars helicopter? I don't think there is. There's got to be some... Oh, I guess you've got like the Fluttercraft. Over on Kashyyyk, you've got the Wookiee Fluttercraft, which kind of acts like a helicopter, I guess. All right, it's flickering a little bit, but it's not popping up on screen, so I think I'll leave that. I'll just have to not get too distracted. Yeah, the Wookiee Fluttercraft is kind of a helicopter. A little bit of one. Right. Let's have a look. So this is a Snowspeeder. For those of you that don't know, because I do tend to assume everyone knows all these Star Wars builds, which isn't always the case. Empire Strikes Back had a bunch of the white Snowspeeders and grey Snowspeeders, just like this. And yeah, they were old Rebel crafts, which we haven't seen prior to the movie, have we, in the canon timeline? Because they go to an abandoned base. And I don't think we've seen them yet, but it would be cool to see the clones bump into them and use those for one of their adventures early on in the Rebel days. And yeah, haven't seen them yet. I'll come back to that. There's probably a few uses of them in like the Old Republic and stuff like that. More like the Dune Ornithopter, yeah. The Dune Ornithopter does look like the Black Panther ship. The one that Lego released. There we go. If I turn the light down a little bit, it stops flickering. It does look like the Black Panther ship. And I think anyone that didn't pick up the Dune Ornithopter that does really want one, have a little look. It was like a 20-30 pound Black Panther set that came with a few minifigures, but also came with a ship that looks exactly like the Dune Ornithopter. It doesn't cost you quite a bit of money. The minifigures can be parted out fairly easily, you know, especially with Star Wars. There's quite a few Dune-like minifigure parts out there, and especially like Ninjago and Marvel. Those masks pop up in Marvel quite a bit for, I think they're the AIM agents that show up in the odd set. Yes, the Dune Ornithopter, it has a play feature that I'll admit the Black Panther one doesn't, where the wings can flutter, but also in a smaller set, I feel like that'd be easier to try and modify. Lego do like the odd play feature. We found out not too long ago that's why the giant quadcopter wasn't released. Nothing to do with military. The Technic didn't work in it. So they try. Here we are. So far, this is a brick. Might not be bricks included, but it's enough built quite solid, with the exclusion of the front brick so far. There you go. Now it's solid. So the cockpit does share a little bit of colour. We're seeing the red and the orange on the side. I wonder if that'd be covered up. It's seen on the inside. I guess it is visible from the inside. And we've got the nice brown chair. Shame this back bit isn't in brown. I don't think that's too common of an element to get. Just built the B-19. Oh, nice. How was the build? What is a Star Wars mask? It's a good point, actually. Not many people that tune in on the streams are massive fans of Star Wars. A lot of Lego fans as well. So welcome, one and all. Let's get the tiles, 2 separate tiles, one of which, bless you.
Actually, I'm allergic to your streams.
It is, once every stream. We just need a compilation of all the sneezes.
I never sneeze when you're not streaming.
We do have one of these control panels with the big bit in the middle. Actually, it seems to be flipped upside down. So that's the way Jedi Bob's looking at it. That's on the side. I keep saying Jedi Bob. We're using Jedi Bob. Here's the minifigure we're going to use, but it's actually Sig Greeblin that pilots this ship usually. So let's put Jedi Bob down there. And then on the other side, we have this, which I quite like. One of the older elements with a few different buttons on it. All right, you stay there. I feel like we're doing this backwards so far. Hello there, Raven Bricks. I'm doing good, thanks. How are you? You were in the Lego store out of 14 sets of Juggernauts. Only one was taken. Yeah, I don't see that being too popular day one, but I'm surprised to see quite a few people have picked up multiple sets. And I do think it's more so the people wanting it day one and picking it up day one that are, you know, they're keeping Lego making massive sets at funny prices, to say the least. But I'm surprised just how many people have picked that up day one, especially with some of the sales that we had a little look at. Right, where do you go? Could have guessed that, should have guessed that. Right on the front. It's quite a filled cockpit. I feel like the sides are quite nice. Let's get our Jedi Bob minifigure in there. Don't think we'll be putting anything else down. All 4 studs to secure them. And yeah, the arms are perfect height. Perfect heights for those side controls. And then the front one is pretty decent height for reading off. Not too shabby, that. And we've got this panel that's going inwards. Maybe that's to fill the wing in. Maybe there's a little gap there for the wing. We'll have to keep building and find that out soon. One more slope at the front. I assume this is all going to be built underneath, so this might stick out on the regular Snowspeeder. Because we're working, what, 4 bricks tall. This is 4 bricks tall at the minute. And again, there are a few stickers on here as well. Let's have a look. No, this is another side build. It doesn't show us anything about the wings. The wings must be the next bag or two, which is nice because we should be able to build them together. There are 2 differences in the wings of the original set, which I've eradicated because I do not want to be building a ship that isn't symmetrical. Why? Why, Lego? Why? I didn't like it with Ahsoka's Eater. The big thing with Ahsoka's Eater, actually, if you haven't built it, we've got the droid in it, just like Anakin's old one. And on the side of the droid, here, we've got a 2x4 gap. So that means this 2x4 from the other side isn't included. This 2x4 here. So we miss out on a 1x2 tile. I'm not too fussed about that. But this piece here, which we have two, we got two in Plo Koon's Microfighter, and I think we get yellow and orange ones here. We get one yellow one in this set and 5 orange rather than 6 orange. That's one of the differences. And the other difference is a 2x4 wedge. I'll point them out when we get to them. But just like Ahsoka's here, where we've got one white on one side, I really wish we had just a brick to go in there. How many plates? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a plate at the bottom. No, that wouldn't really work with the jumpers. We'd need like 3 plates at the bottom to work with the jumpers, then a brick, and then a bunch of tiles, or maybe like a 2x4. Either way, we definitely need some sort of extra brick for when the droid's not in there. And I think that would work pretty well with all the eaters. The deltas, they just pop their heads on top. It's funny actually, we don't see the same thing with the undercarriage for the deltas on the wings, but you know, that's Lego for you. They'll do something on one ship and something completely different. I mean, it's down to the designers, but I do feel like Lego don't like straying from previous designs. Like that, takes inspiration from Anakin's Eater. When Lego asks for a ship, I feel like they give the previous version. You can definitely see it rubbing off. No problem, Hoarder. Thanks for hanging. May the bricks be with you. Same with this Snowspeeder. I'm surprised at just how different it looks. But if you break it down to its core essentials, I can almost guarantee there'll be so many similarities to previous speeders in ways of the wings being held on, maybe in ways of the front here. Usually we only see 3 slopes even. We only see 3 slopes. And this one has 5. 5 slopes on the back. Right, we've got 2 side builds done. And now onto the big one. Yes, we've got a bar across. Okay. That could definitely hint at it clipping on like that. Or going around it to some degree. Yeah, the 5 slope look is quite nice for this. But I'm going to say it because I don't think it's going to happen. Lego need to make a recolor of this. I'm sat here recoloring the set. But Lego definitely need to make a recolor for Empire Strikes Back. Especially for the anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, no less. 2025? 45 years. It's not that hard to work out. Nice rounded off number. There's 2 of the orange. Look at that design. Ooh! Oh, look at that. The 2 orange tiles and the 2 black tiles. So we've got essentially a 1x3. But this is like a dual molded 1x3. I am interested if Lego will ever dual mold elements like this. I guess with these pieces there's no need to dual mold the 1x3, but similar elements, maybe slopes that are harder to line up as separate bricks, definitely need to be dual molded. I think the future of UCS sets are probably dual molded bricks rather than printed bricks, and then you'll see those come out in like other sets that year. I don't think Lego will make them too exclusive, but there'll be the odd exclusive brick in those UCS sets. And then, oh, hold on, have we put these the wrong way around? Oh yeah, these slopes are meant to be down here. Oops. Good thing we cottoned onto that. All right, let's pop these off. And we'll try that again, shall we? There we go. I do really like the orange and black colour combo. I guess it's a bit like those display units in the background, isn't it? With the orange and black. They're Black & Decker units. I think the black and orange is probably more so a company-wide thing rather than just those units. I think they do it to everything. Here we go, cut the flickering out. That is quite nice. And this is for flames and maybe the black base. I never thought about this. I thought, oh, black goes with red, black, orange, yellow. Black goes with all of them actually, black and orange, black and yellow. And I'm just realizing maybe the black pieces underneath and the black base to this model is because it's a burnt model. And what happens when you burn things, other than they start to char up and start to blacken, start to get covered in like soot and stuff. So Maybe there is a method behind the madness. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I'd be a little surprised, but, you know, I wouldn't be that surprised. And here we've got the little engines as well. Right. This is where we clip on the cockpit. Yeah, this has got to be the back of the ship. Got to be. With the 2 clips there. Will we find out? Or will Lego leave it up to a mystery? They'll surprise us at the end. So this is the back, that was the front. Oh, I guess the reason we don't have anything underneath the back is because we've got the speeder, isn't it? So this is all there is. More or less, a little bit to connect them. And a lot of side builds. This is starting to feel like a UCS set in terms of we build a little bit, then we put it down, then we build a little bit, and then we put it down, then we build a little bit. And I think that's what we're on now. And then we start connecting them, right? So this will go, I don't think there's anything that it goes into. No, there's nothing it goes into, but this could be like armrests for our Sig Grieblin. Again, orange and red brackets. We've just used grey brackets on the back here, but now we're getting colourful at the front. Oh. Mr. Towel? Yes, maybe there is some little armrests. And these brackets not only look a bit stylish for the build, what Lego have got into doing recently is styling out a lot of the supports. So these 2 brackets here actually hold together the entire front, which by the looks of these clips are gonna not only support itself onto the main model, but also support the wing. Could it be? The ball joints? Maybe the wings are fairly straight because Lego have before tried to angle a lot of the wings. But I don't think that's necessary when the ship itself, and actually the wings are built with wedge plates for the most part, aren't they? So you don't really need to angle them. All right, there's our blaster. And then, yes. Clips on the back here. All right, in you go. And it's secured with these 1x6 plates that go the length of the cockpit. I mean, how wide is this cockpit? No. Oh, wow, that goes over the entire thing. Just need 2 wedges. Or have I missed where they go? Wait, do I have 2 wedges too many? I pack my own spares? What's going on with it? Oh, did I miss them from the front? Maybe. From like down here somewhere? Oh, maybe not. No, I did. And they're both looking inwards. Aha, I knew I didn't have spares. Whenever you get to building a Lego set and you have 2 spares of absolutely any piece or more, anything more than 1, chances are it's not a spare. So it's definitely worth going back through your instructions, having a little look, trying to find where those pieces were used. And now we've got to unclip the lightsaber because our Daft Dev does indeed clip in, and there's quite a bit of wiggle room here, isn't there? Look at that. So you can have them sat either side. Let's get them as central as I can, and that will hold up the rest of the set. Right, let me get a 2x4. Oh, actually, let me get around this just to balance that out at the bottom. There we are. And there's 2 clips at the bottom for the lightsabers. If these are needed for the wing, I will have to remove these. But Lego have been including lightsaber clips in basically all their sets recently. And just under here, you can see not 1, but 2 clips. The only thing you won't be able to clip in is the nunchuck sabers. I don't think they're going to be able to clip anywhere. Maybe on the STAP. All right, now let's try and clip this in without breaking any of it. Oh, that's fairly easy to do, actually. Nope. Spoke too soon. Hello there, Moonshoes. Why is this not clipping in? No! No, what's going on? All right. Hey, there we go. And that should clip down over the front as well. I planned it to work properly. There we go. No, no, there we go. There we go. So this is the cockpit done. Just like so. With a new style of cockpit, which I think does look really cool. Even if it pumps up a little bit, which I think it's just because we don't have the wiggle room to squeeze it all the way down. Give it a little bit of bend. There we go. Hey! Cockpit is done, and that's got the speeder bike closed in the back with the blaster sticking out. It's not too bad, is it? It's hidden away quite well. There's a lot of room in the side, definitely for the wings to fold in, for them to sit just in there. And the speeder is held up. Considering it's held up right at the back end, it doesn't hang down at all. There's not much room for it to hang down. Actually, there's no wiggle room, probably, you know, a fraction of a millimeter. But now, let's get on to building the wings. Oh, that was bag 2. And because the wings are the same, so the big difference for bag 4 is you're also building Solitos's bike. But I've taken the parts out for Solitos's bike. We've already built that, and actually built this modified version, which is meant to represent the ultimate speeder, because it holds every single minifigure, battle droids, minifigures, even Hagrid, the larger figure from the Harry Potter line, can go on that speeder. So I think what we're going to do is pour out bag 3 and 4 together. There's all the parts for bag 3. Remember, bag 4 is missing the parts for the STAP speeder. So we've removed those, taken them out, and there should be the same pieces in both of these bags flipped. We have changed the orange 2x4 wedge, that's yellow, and also switched out one of the orange tiles. Let me find an example. One of these to be orange instead of yellow, just to make this build symmetrical and so that I can sleep better at night. But besides those two, both of the wings are exactly the same, piece for piece. And actually, very rarely this happens, the instructions are also the same, almost like they've just flipped the instructions and rolled with it, which I doubt they have. Lego do like to go through and rebuild a lot of these instructions, but maybe they did this once. Maybe they tried to get away with just flip it. Could you imagine if it was like, instead of the 1 times, it was just ×1 and all the pieces were backwards? It's Lego. I don't think that complicates anything. There's no element that doesn't look the same flipped backwards. All these elements, that's a good point. All these elements are symmetrical. Even this one, because you can rotate it any which way, this slope here is also symmetrical. All of these elements are symmetrical. You could just get away with flipping it. Oh, that's awesome. Hello there, AD Brixie. Yeah, I did not realize that before. There's got to be some elements that wouldn't work for in Lego, especially a lot of the any of the snaky elements, any of the decorations seen in modular cities, you know, where they loop up. And actually similar to this piece here, but any piece that has like a 3rd dimension to this piece of the gum fruit is very hard to flip. You just won't be able to flip it at most angles. Definitely a nice stress ball this is. Also plugs up my shelf there. So, what are we doing with these plates? That's it. A lot of these pieces on the inside are fairly, not rare, they're fairly uncommon, considering that they're all covered, and the 1x3s aren't as much a problem. They're plentiful on the Juggernaut. We have 10, at least 10 1x3s on that Juggernaut there. But this piece, the 1x4 trans orange tile, which I'm going to use 2 1x2s. I don't have many 1x4s, and you know, they're hidden, they're not seen, so it really doesn't matter what sort of tile you put here. A little bit of fire in the wings of this, but I do think it's interesting they went with 1x4s and not 1x2s. Very hard to find as well in a pile of orange bricks, because the colours aren't too dissimilar. Oh look, we've already done the ball joints, haven't we? Hello there, Noob Master, welcome to the stream. The ball joints here must line up to the ball joints on the side. Yeah, so the Snowspeeder. So the wings must be a little bit bigger. We do have some of these pieces. I think I've got those ones confused. Let's swap those back. We do have some more 3x6 wedge plates, which will give it a bit more length to add the slopes on the front. Right, the real task here is not confusing up the pieces. I think I took 2 white 2x3s from the right at first, so I've got to make sure I'm not doing that, and I'm taking them from their separate piles, which is why we split it. Let's move this over a little bit just to keep them a bit more separated, so I'm not getting confused. Confusing job here building Lego. Oh, must be a little camouflage for the engines as well. Yeah, so out of all the August sets, I didn't end up picking any of them up day one, which good thing I didn't to an extent, because I ended up picking a lot of the June sets. A lot of the June sets up instead. And I have a feeling that's going to be the same with a few future waves of Lego. I'm going to end up picking up some of these August sets rather than picking up whichever new sets are coming out. A bit like September, I'm tempted to pick up the Advent day one. I definitely want the Advent, so if it's hard to get hard to get a hold of and hard to say, I probably will be picking it up through Lego, though every year I pick it up September 1st without a worry or a doubt, and it ends up basically within the month recently going down to 20 odd pounds, 20 pounds, maybe 15 pounds if you leave it too long, but I haven't really seen any of those in stock. So this year I think I might risk it, wait it out a little bit, 1, 2, 3, and see what deal we can get on them. If August is anything to go off, there will be up to 20% off day one. Maybe even pre-orders will be on sale. Haven't seen that yet, but August has definitely been overshadowing a lot of future Lego sets. Most of them aren't even in stock for pre-orders because they're just stocking so many of these August sets. And if I can pick up even a £5 off the advent calendars before midway through November, I think that's when a lot of the advents start going on sale. Last minute attempt to try and get sold. I think that'll be a reasonable deal. These stick out a little bit. That must be what these slopes at the front of the cockpit for. We've got a nice indent, 3 studs long. 1, 2, 3. Perfect for them. Same on the other side. I think, oh no, this should be flat. Shouldn't be popping off. But it is. Who knows why that is? So we securing the inside? No. Securing this. Well, I don't know about securing it. We've got an extra stud on the front. Sometimes these connections, I think, are just for peace of mind rather than actual security. You're giving that one stud, which definitely helps on the bottom. It's no longer just going to pop off if it's touched, which it will be, sat in the front. Anytime these wings are folded, that'll be an annoying piece to try and pop back on. And also, because these are using ball joints and not clips, they're going to be a lot harder to clip on and clip off, especially given the fact that the back is held on by one plate attached to one tile. I wonder how easy it's going to be to try and pop these on and off. That is something that's very, very interesting to me right now. Just how easy it is to pop these in and out without like destroying any of the rest of the Snowspeeder, basically. Hello there, General Grievous. Welcome. First off, Anakin. Now Grievous. It's funny how they're so close in the stream. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, Anakin was in the other stream as well. So close, but yet so far. So I wonder how Anakin and Grievous didn't bump into each other in the Clone Wars. That one line meaning they never met. And somehow the animation team at Lucasfilm managed to keep them apart for seven seasons now. So close, but yet so far at points. Oh, 2x3. Aha. You are a bold one, indeed. A good parts pack. This is a good parts pack. Not a great parts pack. Not a decent parts pack, but a good parts pack with some of the rarer elements you get in red, orange, and the likes. And then you go and put, what, 4 ingots along the side. Let's get these lined up so they're the same way. And these go on. Maybe the ingots also hold it apart from the ship. We were building the battle pack, and on the legs, actually the Juggernaut probably has a few pieces that have gone unnoticed, but on the legs of the battle pack, the feet go into ingots, and Lego have left the perfect space for these ingots to mesh with not only the feet, but also with the bricks on top of them. And I feel like that's what these ingots are for here. What do I think about the new cockpit piece? It looks amazing. This is my own design of the new cockpit piece, but it fits to Lego's measurements. You know, the windows are all the same. It's just a little thinner, and also has removable. You know, this frame was 3D printed, and the plastic in the windows has been applied separately so that we can get some different colors of it. That's all you're getting. That's the sneak peek for the recolor of the Snowspeeder. But I thought if I was going to be, you know, designing the piece, I might as well make both of them match. When Grievous takes their lightsaber for his collection and the battle droids say you're welcome. Oh look, that's the element we needed in the first bag. Oh, I'll sort that out now. Where are the other ingots? That is a Jedi art. 3D printing is sometimes. I've been having a little look actually at all the karmas and clips on the website. I'm wondering if it would be a good idea to make them available like as separately as well, so you don't need to pick up an entire bundle of them, so that actually you can order a lot more. It's not so you could just order one. The shipping's not worth just ordering one. But if you wanted to order, because I think the karmas are packed in either singles or fours. So if you want, I think, yeah, there's 4 in the Juggernaut. So if you wanted, say, 12's a multiple of 4. If you wanted 14 of them, rather than spending more money and getting a ton of lightsaber clips, I think it might be a good idea to have them available singly so that you can just bundle up your own bundles. So I'm looking at that. That'll probably be coming out September time. I don't think that'll be anytime soon, but keep your eye out for that. Bricks not connected to anything. Okay, Lego have some faith in their 1x4s. Do you think they could use this piece for a U-wing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, a U-wing. Lego's U-wing uses if you're on the big stream, you can see the lego.com in the corner. Lego's U-wing uses an X-wing piece, which isn't terrible, but it's not an X-wing, is it? It is not an X-wing cockpit. Let's have a little Google I don't think it's quite a Snowspeeder cockpit, but it looks closer to it. If you take a look at this image here, you can see the cockpit does have separate windows, kind of like this. We've got the bar in the middle, and then we've got a separate window, and then we've got a tiny window. I think this would work better than the X-Wing piece. And then they just need like a 2x6 white tile at the top, because that would cover up the top window. I think that would look the most accurate. Maybe even get a little slit down here. You can see just in this window here, you could probably allude to a gap there. But also, I think next time we get a U-Wing, I'd want it to be a UCS U-Wing. I'd want it to be a bigger U-Wing, and I'd want to get a custom piece as the cockpit. Make it bigger, really. That's my biggest gripe with this one. For a U-Wing, I'd want a bigger cockpit so that we can have the two minifigures side by side. Not massive, but I'm talking maybe a 10x6. Maybe make this a little wider. But the fact that we've got this cockpit definitely is good grounds for a U-Wing. They've only just come out with one, and we're already looking towards the next one. That is Lego sets. I am starting to miss, the more I think about next year's sets and that Mando speeder, I have to be honest, I am missing Luke's land speeder. I think it's been a while since we got one. Maybe a soulless one too. Yeah, that'd be a good piece. General Kenobi, hello there. Yeah, I definitely would like a new Luke's land speeder. Never thought I'd hear those words come out my mouth. But if we can get a smaller one with dual molded legs, please, Lego. That's my only little asterisk. That's my only want from a Luke land speeder. My only request, that's the one, is to get dual molded legs. I'm going to flip this wing around so you can actually see the pieces that I'm putting on it. It's kind of blocked out by that giant A-Wing wing. It's nice to see the A-Wing wings being the A-Wing wing being repurposed for the Snowspeeder here. And it wasn't until I was recoloring them that I realized most Snowspeeders don't have that extra little bit. I think I left them out, and we'll have to decide what we're putting there for the recolor. But I didn't notice whatsoever that that's not typically on a Snowspeeder, and that's just for the Hot Rod collection. Hot Rod collection. Hot Rod land speeder, Hot Rod everything. Set this on your other account. Do need sequel sets. Yes, we do need some sequel trilogy sets. What would you like to see from a sequel trilogy set? Because I'm looking at it from someone who owns quite a few sequel trilogy minifigures and has made basically the rest of them. So my wants are very much like Ray Speeder and those other smaller sets that didn't come out. I do think a Master Builder's Takodana would be amazing to get some of those characters that we didn't get as well. I think Takodana in general would be... It should pop up in something. We should see it pop up, shouldn't we? Takodana is known well enough in the Star Wars galaxy now, thanks to comics and the likes, that we should see that pop up, maybe not just even in sequel era. We could see that original trilogy. We could see that High Republic. Surely that's got to pop up, High Republic. Because we know Maz Kanata is there with, like, is alive at least, with Chewie, Yoda. Yeah, Maz's castle. That'd be a good build. Ray Speeder, I wonder... Right, Ray Speeder, if we'll ever get anything oversized like Luke's Land Speeder, the UCS set, but from the sequels, Ray Speeder, I don't think there's many other builds that Lego could oversize from the sequels. Ray Speeder's definitely one. Maybe we could get another Jakku Outpost. Maybe Jakku could have its own Master Builders set with like a TIE Fighter, Ray Speeder, an Outpost, like everything. Everything. Because we could even get the little huts from the start of the movie. Oh, the smuggler freight that Solo and Chewie own. Oh, that's a good one because that's been built for Skywalker Saga as well. UCS Ray Speeder, yeah. It sounds quite funny, but I'm quite interested now. All right, this is the piece that's got the recolor. We've gone with yellow, not orange, because this right wing has a yellow 2x4 wedge. So there's our recolor, number 1. And keep an eye out, number 2's... Oh, look! It's the very next piece. Number 2 goes on top. So we've swapped the colour of these 2 pieces. Lego would have you give this wing an orange 2x4 and a yellow 1x2 tile, but the other side of the wing has a yellow 2x4 and an orange tile, just like that. So I've modified these, swapped out the parts. Fairly easy that it's all in one step. Well, side by side steps. But yeah, now we've got the same colours. Maybe not the correct colours, but the same colours. Very awkward placement of that tile though. Maybe get that on before you place the rest of the wedge. UCS Starkiller base. Oh yes, that's what we were talking about the other day. That would be a good one. UCS Star or a Master Builders Starkiller base. I think UCS would work because it'd just be the frame, a bit like the old UCS Death Star. Which is funny because we've got a new UCS Death Star coming out this year that is a part of the UCS wave. It is a UCS Death Star, but it feels like a Master Builders with all the minifigures meant to be coming in it. And with the fact that we're getting scenes displayed inside, it does feel more like a Master Builders set than a UCS set. I wonder why Lego made the decision to call it a UCS, an Ultimate Collector's Series set, and not a Master Builders. Yeah, it does make you go broke. I mean, the Death Star's $1,000. So I'm hoping that's about £850. I think the conversion is around that. That's still a lot. That's still twice as much, nearly triple what I've ever spent on a Lego set. Anyone wondering, my most expensive set is still the Master Builders Series Mos Eisley Cantina. That's a good one. But, would they go higher than that for Starkiller? It depends what's coming out at the time. Because we are seeing Lego sets get more and more expensive. And I am expecting a drop. But there doesn't seem to be a drop anytime soon. There's a few sets that are coming out cheaper. I do think a lot of the new sets coming out, like the $9.99 Speeder, are just to prepare for a more expensive summer wave. More £160 sets, you know, like more of those sort of sets. So I wouldn't get too excited for them, but I wouldn't mind seeing a few cheaper sets in Star Wars, especially not after this year we've had 2 £160 sets. Car. The highest thing you've paid for in Lego is 80. Yeah, that's about decent. Outside of, I think after the Master Builders Cantina, the most expensive set I've brought, I'm trying to think of £100 sets now, because it does drop down from, that was £320, it drops down to about 100 and something. I know the Slave One 20th anniversary I picked up, I pre-ordered that for $120, which I think was its retail price. And I'm trying to think what else I've picked up that's about 100 and something pound. A lot of the Lego I've got, I've been gifted. I've been lucky enough to be gifted, and a lot of the sets I'm gifted are, you know, coming up to that £100 territory. So the last set I picked up, I guess we picked up things like the Ghost, but that set us back 60 quid because that was on a sale. A lot of the sets we pick up are on sales, and I think it'd be the exact same thing for any of these newer sets coming out. What are these from? We might need this for the other Snowspeeder. I might have put them in the wrong bag. Yeah, more battle packs. We do tend to pick up a lot of cheaper sets or sets on sale because you can pick up more Lego then. And I do think Lego is meant to be, you know, displayed as a collective, not just one set on its own. Here's the 2 wings. And these go straight on the back. All right, ball joints in. 1 and 2. And yeah, it does fill up most of that. That's quite nice actually. I like the front with the 1, 2, 3 And I thought these were slope pieces, but it looks like we're still getting the 3 slopes at the front. All right, let's do this again for the other side. This is harder because you're going to have to hold the left wing to get the right wing in. Oh, that was too good. Oh wow. Not only was that real quick and simple, also the wings, I can push them down a little bit because they are sitting up off the floor. And this speeder's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I mean, it gives away that the cockpit is a 4x10 piece. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 studs up to the front. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 studs long. 22 studs long for the force burner Snowspeeder. I keep calling it the fire burner Snowspeeder in my head, and there's a few decals missing that would add that flame continuing to the front. I think there's flames on, oh, you can see it on this. There's flames on the slopes here, flames on the back, and there's also some flames on the speeder that's just sticking out, but that's not noticeable whatsoever. And good thing with this is you just slide it out, easier said than done. If you can grab a grip of the speeder and a grip of this, you should be able just to slide it out, no? Okay, no, that's in there way too strong to pull it out without pulling out the speeder. But as it's flying across, the speeder can drop into action. Come on, there we go, drop into action and speed away as the ship is flying elsewhere. And without the speeder, it does rock back. So you might want to add a little kickstand at the back, or display it with the speeder, remove these front bits here, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then you just put it on the top, wait for the click, which we missed out on. Come on, click in. Fairly difficult to try and click that in. And there you go. It's ready to go. Did I sell it? Did I sell it? You like the minifigures because you make stop motion. Oh yeah, especially battle pack figs. They're good for that. What we're missing from the instructions is Solitos here and the speeder. So I'll go to the end just to show you what they look like before we start building the other one. There's the speeder on the display stand. And then right at the end, I'm sure we probably have some images of the other sets. All right, here's the, oh yeah, we got the turret at the back. I don't know how I feel about the turret at the back, honestly. It works, it's like the cable launcher, but I feel like the Snowspeeder doesn't have such a prominent turret sticking out, and it would be cool if we could get this wired up with some tow cable. Definitely got to do that. There's Solitos and the speeder, and here we go. These are the images I was talking about. Still think that these would make for a really great poster. This is all the August wave, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 play sets, 2 display sets, and instead of the UCS AT-ST, they've gone with the battle droid. Ooh, interesting choice here. I guess the UCS sets, they don't really have to advertise. They're there for people that want to pick them up. But yeah, why not include the UCS AT-ST? Very odd. But I agree, it does look good, doesn't it? It does look great. And not only are we building this one, but you've seen the cockpit, we're going to be building the recolor to try and get this looking like it's straight from Empire. Rather than like it's set on fire. I do think this is going to work so good in a mock still, because it looks like it's getting ready to crash, especially with all the actual flame stickers removed. This looks like the front is still burning. I assume the back is where the engine is because of how thick it is. So we've got the engine at the back that's probably combusted upon crash. It's burnt through towards the front. Some new flames coming out here. This is real red hot, quite literally. And then we've got all this charred cockpit back here. Smoke filling the cockpit, which is why it's yellow. It does work in a Hoth mock. Go into the pool in 30 minutes. Nice, have fun. Right, now we got to scroll all the way back up, reverse what we've just seen, and build this in grey. I also really like, at the minute, there's a gift with purchase, Adventure Peely and Cuddle Team Leader. I like this gift with purchase. When we were at the Lego store what was it, the day or two before the August sets dropped, they were still giving away Bright Bombers. And they had so many of them behind the counter. They didn't have them out, but just tucked behind the counter there, a shelf full of them at every tilt. So if you're lucky enough, maybe you're picking up the Adventure Peely and Cuddle Team Leader with Bright Bomber if you did miss out. Though Bright Bomber's fairly easy to pick up online. And I really like, let's bring up an image for the big screen. I really like the Peely figure, but I want to build it in all yellow pieces. And I don't think I have all these yellow pieces because yellow's quite a hard piece to find in my collection. I don't have many yellows. For the Fortnite sets, you want Tomato Town. I think with Tomato Town, it might be back. I was playing Fortnite the other day after the event. Did anyone see the event stream? 26 minutes the entire stream was. That's the quickest Fortnite event I've ever been a part of. But after the event, I've noticed different locations popping up, or specifically the Tomato Head mascot popping up near the Jar Jar Binks hut. And I wonder if they're bringing back T-Town, so there might be a Lego set, because we've got the Der Burger restaurant, and that's currently not in Fortnite. It hasn't been for quite some time. I wonder though if that's been in the, because they're bringing the old seasons back. So I wonder if the Der Burger's from that, and that's where we could get a T-Town set, a Tomato Town set. It's similar to the Der Burger, where the mascot is a burger head, but it's a tomato head. And I think, to just general Lego fans, look at some of the city sets doing well. The donut shop, the burger hut on the van. I think a tomato themed restaurant would do really well. Maybe not as well as Der Burger, but I do think it would do well. They're bringing storyline back. Oh, I think that would be a good way to ground the story in the actual Zero Build and Battle Royale modes. Because I know that story is connected, but it doesn't feel like there's much of a story there. Not since Star Wars. Star Wars sort of spun it away and they never got back on track. So that'd be a nice way to ground it again. And if you recognize any of this, this is because this is the exact same builder built in greys, whites, and we've still kept like the tan here, tan 2x3. I did go back and rewatch the scene from Empire where they're flying in for the first time, and I noticed out the back of the Snowspeeders they actually have a little red ray. So I don't think orange and like the flame color for the flame Snowspeeder, yes, orange probably works best, but I think red works a little better for both the speeder and also for the Snowspeeder, the big speeder and the little speeder. I think red works a little better. So we are going with a red engine to match what we see on screens. Maybe even a little red triangle, a little red cone at the back. I think that would look best. The one that would make the most money would be a Tilted Towers set. I was surprised after seeing it built in Lego because they built it for a game mode. I think we had a little Tycoon Lego game on Fortnite that had us build up Tilted Towers. I'm surprised we didn't see a Lego set of it then, like then and there for it. That would have done really well. But at least Lego are getting around to making things eventually. I think that is, especially with some of the mocks that I'm building, some of them just aren't ready in time for when I want, and a lot of them get put on the back burner. You'll notice that yesterday there wasn't a full-length video. Thank you so much for the support on my most recent video today. But the reason the video didn't come out is just simply because I wanted to do more, and I've ended up merging it with Thursday's video, so that should still be coming out soon. But it weren't quite ready. It wasn't perfected yet. And I think in terms of Lego, when you're looking at different models being built, the same thing happens. They want to do a little bit more, so they delay it a little bit, and then it ends up, you know, Fortnite are asking for different things, Star Wars are asking for different things, and they never line up again. Which is why after so many years we get really good ships and really good models from shows that have long been past. They released pictures of the beach short stormtrooper in the UCS Death Star. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to take a little look at those later on. I can't wait to see what this Death Star looks like, because I think a load of people are going to be surprised, and I want to know how close, because I am still envisioning a like half sphere, flat bottom so it can stand up, and then a few scenes on the inside, but kind of Hogwarts Castle-esque, so you can display the scenes or you can flip it for the Death Star. And I haven't seen any images of it yet. No early boxes. It's only August, so I don't know if any boxes have been found out in the wild. They cooked. Oh, definitely got to have like 38 minifigures is a lot. They've definitely got to have Tarkin, maybe Krennic and Galen. 38 figures. And then they could even go with a few other just random generals that pop up not only in the movies but also throughout Star Wars, like any point in the timeline, and they could just add them in. Yeah, Krennic. Oh, I think we saw the Krennic torso, which is how I know Krennic's going to pop up. I think that got leaked a while back. And ooh, this clip isn't as long as I thought it would be. We've got shorter clips. This must be an older version. An older clip, and it doesn't check out this time. No dual legs apart from the Beach Trooper. I think Krennic's got black trousers and black boots. So Krennic's like the only Imperial that doesn't need dual molded legs. The rest of them do. Especially, well, Darth Vader as well. And most of the regular stormtroopers and other Imperial officials, but like the Beach Trooper definitely needs dual molded legs. If we got a Yularen, or if we got a Galen Urso, would also need some dual molded legs. Maybe who else would need dual molded legs? There's a few, like 3PO with a silver leg, that should be dual molded. Luke, I'd love to get Farm Boy Luke in a UCS. I don't want him locked behind the UCS Death Star, but that could be a start for a land speeder next year. Maybe a keyring. I wonder if the Beach Trooper is going to be a keyring, because I assume the helmet's just a regular Stormtrooper helmet. So you could replace that out and have the Beach Trooper keyring. Whoa. Could you imagine if the Beach Trooper's exclusive to the Death Star? That's the minifigure, and they release a keyring anyway. There might be a little uproar from UCS fans. Surely after 3PO they wouldn't do that. A midi-scale Separatist command ship. If we ever get a midi-scale Venator, I think that'll be the set that will go up against it. Because we're seeing a lot of... We got Invisible Hand with the Acclamator. So I do think we could get another massive scale Separatist command ship with the Venator. I know they don't really pair up. Maybe switching them would be better. But that'd be the perfect time to include the... I can't remember what the real big one's called now. But it'd be the perfect time to include that. Alright, remember building most of this. It looks funny when it's all white and grey, but, you know, it checks out. Just a grey base in a white brick. Drained of colour. Actually, Hoth isn't very colourful. It does kind of feel like... it sets the tone for the movie. It's all white, greys, and then the Empire comes in, wins, and then we're left off. And even then, it's all like the Falcon greys. And then Return of the Jedi. Even A New Hope's a bit more colourful. They've done... I mean, they were making a movie, they knew what they were doing, but they did it well. Did it well to do that without realising. Ah, yes. Supporting the slope. I have switched out a few of the colours here. You can see there is an orange slope, which might seem a bit odd at the minute, with all the other pieces being grey, besides 2 white. You remove these 2 whites, the rest of the pieces are all just grey. But it will make sense as we approach. What Lego theme should they make next? Ooh. I do think they're working on a Stranger Things theme. I will say, I was watching Adam Savage's latest video this morning whilst I was clearing my desk, the Darth Vader lightsaber hilt. And they were both saying, him and the Collector were saying about how Indiana Jones is, I don't know if it's underrated or if it's just like hidden behind Star Wars or what the case is with it. But Indiana Jones does seem to be missing a lot compared to the attention Star Wars gets. And I think there's just more Star Wars. Indiana Jones is a smaller universe. Indiana Jones is the dream that Han Solo has in Carbonite. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a Lucasfilm theme. And rather than just Star Wars, we get like every year we get one Indiana Jones set. I don't think they go back and do a lot of the older content, but maybe even get something like a Willow set once every couple of years. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But I think for a theme they haven't made, there's a few. I don't think there's anything quite like Star Wars. Marvel years ago was very much in the Star Wars space. A new Agents theme, like a redo of Agents. I think rather than a new theme, what LEGO need to do is work these into City. City doesn't have a cohesive storyline, so if they work it into City, they're, you know, given a bunch of sets, kind of like the space theme. Rather than having a new space theme, they just insert the space as a theme into Lego City, Lego Friends. I think that's the way they could do Agents. Maybe have some undercover agents in City, bring in some agents in Friends, and have that storyline going throughout. I think that would be more successful than an Agents theme. I tell you what does need a theme though. I think as of recent, something like Castle, Pirates, I think Nostalgia needs a theme. It can't just be Pirates. It can't just be Castle, because after a few years people get bored of it again, which is the problem with themes like Nexo Knights. Dropped off so quickly because people kind of got bored of it. What we need is a nostalgia theme. Every year they pick a different theme. So this year it could be Castle. Next year it will be Pirates. Then it will be Space. Then it will be, I feel like instead of Castle, Medieval. Medieval, I think, works. Yeah, kind of like the classic remakes with modern molds. We're seeing like Blacktron getting its own ship recently. We're seeing Creator. Actually, let me hop off the instructions for a second, because if we go to Creator as a theme, Creator does this very well, but Creator does this in a 3-in-1 style of building. We've got the medieval Horse Knight Castle. We've got also a pirate boat, don't we? Somewhere here. And I think seeing these as separate sets, there's the pirate ship. Seeing these as separate sets without the need for a 3-in-1 can really hone in just some of the detail, some of the nostalgia to a lot of the old pieces. We're seeing the big angled wall bracket here, the panel on the side here. But what I want to see is brick built versions of that old ugly giant brick, and little bits like that you have to build as a side build and then attach it like you would in a classic set. This also transforms into a medieval village, like a smaller castle and an actual medieval village here. Actually, does that fold up? Oh, nice, that's the same one. And we've also got different types of castles. That one's got a moat, but something like that and something like the pirate ship without the Creator 3-in-1 license could do really well. And then you're looking at Blacktron, you're looking at all these themes coming back using modern pieces, using exclusive molds for the most part. A lot of these themes actually use molds from, or shared molds with other themes, so they had to be a bit more generic and couldn't be exactly what LEGO were envisioning at the time. And LEGO can run with it now. They're making enough money to be putting a lot of custom pieces into these sets. And we've also seen recently on lego.com, where is this? I'm yet to actually find it. I think it's under bricks and pieces. There's minifigure bundles. So there's minifigure bundles for Oh, medieval. Oh no, this isn't what I'm looking for. You can get minifigures. You can get like packs of horses. It's not animals. It's not this. I can't remember where it is. But there is, oh, mini builds. It's kind of like the mini builds. Lego advertise these in streams all the times where you can add parts for this build to it. But there's a way you can get minifigures. And it's like 6 pirates or 6 knights or maybe horses and mounts. And they've added this to their website. But I can't tell you where. I can't tell you where. It goes through pick a brick. So it's the same pieces that are found here, like you just saw through the medieval category there. But yeah, I don't know how to access those. So I have another little look, and hopefully by the weekend I'll be able to show you how to access those. But they're already making the minifigures quite readily available. I remember quite a few LAN members picking up the knights, especially the Lion Knights, in bulk for their castle armies and creating different mocks with them, spending so much on the minifigures. If only they were getting a build with it, because these packs are still like 10 to 20 pound, so you're not getting the minifigures for cheaper. They're just easier to add to your basket. There you go. These are the 2 pieces that we had earlier. I put them in the wrong bag, gave them to the wrong speeder. 1x2s. So I would like a nostalgia, or a nostalgic, I guess makes a bit more sense, Lego theme, where Lego can just go with it, do everything they want to do, and not have to wait for next year, not have to hold back for any reason. Just completely go with the flow. And also, because we don't have the sticker for this brick, I've gone with the 1x2 grill on top, which does match how the Snowspeeders look on the screens without needing a sticker. You don't even need a sticker for this. I don't think you need any stickers for the recolor. Though, of course, if you own any of the older versions, definitely whack a few stickers on, like we did with the 501st Battle Pack. Some scratches, details, the odd petrol cap, because how else are these going to fly? Definitely improves a little bit. I like a sticker-free build, but sometimes you can't beat them, join them. Alright, that's one connection of wings. I'm also noticing I don't think I got the ball joint for the weapon at the back. Maybe we can swap that out for a clip whilst I realise that. Yeah, let me go grab a clip. What do I think about Spider-Man 2 train scene? That's a re-release and a modern take 20. Oh yeah, I forget that we got sets for that. I completely forget we got sets for the actual train scene. So that's exactly, I guess Lego are squeezing it into different themes. Maybe that's what the city space was for, but we didn't get any nostalgic builds. Well, I don't think we did. But the original Lego Spider-Man 2 train set. Let's see if we can get the original image. Here we go. This is the original. Oh, how that's different. The new version is literally just the train carriage. I shouted out in the video where we took a look at a few of these, I shouted out minifigure Jez, who's got 2 and is motorizing this, which I think could be really cool on like a dead end track that then has a little cliff and then it drills back and goes back and forth. But here's the original set that kind of had what I was saying about a bunch of web stopping it and enter the platform, and the train could be flicked through the stop signs into the cobwebs at the end. So I guess this is the motorized layup we want, but look how much they've improved that set. It is just not even modern pieces, because we're still getting the same elements on the side, aren't we? With these 1x2 bricks. The windows are a bit bigger. That helps. And the top, these pieces have been brought back recently. We're seeing these 4x6 elements in the 4+ sets. In the 4+ Firehawk, I think we get ones in red and white. And they've built it a bit smaller. I think, look at Lego Star Wars sets around the time as well. A lot of them are blocky, very big, bulky builds. And this year especially, Lego have cracked down, really honing in on the detail. Don't know what those ingots are in there for. Maybe vents? Either way, that's detail that you just could not see on this build here. Which the roof piece is using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 11 pieces. Already on the new one. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 11 slopes on one side of the roof. Crazy detail added. That still looks like a good set. Actually, I've got a few of these. I've got a few of these bottom pieces in black. So, didn't realise they work with the train wheels. That's nice to know. Definitely be using that for a future train. Maybe a Christmas train this year. Do you think we'll get another one? Have it go around your Lego city. That would be cool. How do I think of the price of the Spider-Man set? I think I'd pay about £40–45. Look at that, spot on. I have seen that before, so I probably knew that subconsciously. But again, back order August 8th, because it's just so good. That's the same price as the Force Burner Snowspeeder. And I think they do add up to each other. You know what? Seeing that for 4 minifigures, yeah, people might be arguing that's a lot for a carriage, but look how big the carriage is as well. 6 bricks wide. It reminds me of the Hogwarts Express, which the carriage was like half the size of this, but we got the rest of the train and it was a bit more money. Probably about 60 quid. So 45's good. I can't argue with you waiting for a reduction. If 45's good, like the lowest I can see it going in the next couple of months is 30 quid. If 45's good, 30 quid is amazing for this. Could you imagine this selling cheaper than the battle pack? I think this at 35 is good compared to that. Anything at £35 good compared to that. And yeah, it's definitely a lot better than this. That carriage is probably not far off half that as well. Oh, so that's what I want from the nostalgia theme. Maybe every year Lego have like a 20, 30 year delay on it. Maybe that's a Star Wars bias in there for how long the theme's been running, but a 20, 30 year delay, and they keep making sets from 20 years back, 30 years back. And they keep pumping out sets. Not pumping out sets, you know, we're talking like 5 a year. 5 sets a year tops. This isn't a big theme to contend with the others, but 5 sets a year that are just remakes of old sets. I think that would be fun. Might wait for it to reduce, but they sell it in B&M, so you get 10% off already. Oh, and that's lowering it down to about 40 quid, which is, yeah, that's not a bad price day one. We were taking a look at the Costco sets. I wonder if Costco have it, because if you can get 10% off that in Costco, and you know you pick up at least 6 Lego sets a year around that price, that's your Costco membership paid for. And not only that, but you can pick it up. I guess then you're paying full price. You'd have to work out how much you'd want to save for it. But then you can, oh wait, where the slopes? Oh no, where the slopes? Where the slopes? Why do I only have 1 slope? Did I leave them in the bag? No? No, not in there. I tell you what I think it is. This one's for the blaster. I took them out to replace them with 1x2 slopes, because after going through that one, I realized there were 2 slopes side by side. And yeah, I'm gonna go get the 1x2. You say Christmas train. What about the train from Solo, made into a Christmas design with a gingerbread trooper? I like the sound of that. It's a good idea. I don't remember, was there a train set from Solo? Was there like an actual Lego set of that train? I don't remember seeing it, but I also think Solo was around the period where I wasn't as focused, I guess, on Lego sets. So if there is a train set, that would be a fun one to build around Christmas and like fully deck it up. I'm talking like, no, there was. Oh, nice. Yeah, like I guess the Millennium Falcon diorama with the Christmas lights and that. That is a good idea. Jot that one right down. And then, oh yes, we got to secure this in. Yeah, because I didn't get a lot of the Rogue One or Solo sets. at like any of them. I think the Rogue One I got the Battle on Scarif, and solo I got Snowspeeder, and that was it. I got one set from each of the themes. Solo's got some really good ones, and it means I haven't yet experienced the solo TIE Fighter build. I haven't built it yet. Can't believe that. That's going to be a good one to build. Maybe we'll get around to that as well. And that's quite a nice problem to have, I guess. Not having time to build all the old sets, because I would like to build every single Star Wars set that comes out, and we're keeping up with some of the new sets coming out. I feel like we've built most of them from this year. Oh yeah, the clip. But there's so many older sets that I haven't got round to building. We've got sets for years, honestly. Years. What sounds smarter, buy a new bed now or buy the rest of the Dimensions packs, complete the game, sell the collection, then buy a bed? How big's the bed you want? Because you could get them. I don't know what all the Dimensions sets are worth as a collection, but I suppose you could get any bed, really. A few exceptions, maybe there are beds that aren't being sold, but surely that could get you a nice diamond encrusted bed. How big the diamonds are, that's down to how much the Dimensions packs are selling for, but I assume you're not spending it all on a bed. That's a crazy bed. Huge beds at that point. Couple hundred more pounds of Dimensions. I wonder what minifigures. I don't suppose like re-releases or that ever have any effect on the price of Dimensions, because Dimensions is it's its own category. There's nothing that's going to affect the price of Dimensions, because there's just nothing Lego could bring out that would, anything they do bring out would be new. So that's one thing with collecting. If you leave it in someone's private collection, which a lot of people don't realize, people do collect things privately. I think a lot of that's coming to light after Lucas's panel at San Diego Comic-Con. But a lot of private collections exist out there with a lot of stuff that most of you are probably collecting. So something like Dimensions, maybe less so, that's a bit rarer. But there's definitely one private collection out there with all the Dimensions pieces. And if they decide to sell it, that might lower the price of some of the Dimensions sets that you're missing. Maybe they don't own them ones either, in which case they make them more sought after. But it's always a risky, it's that stock trading level as well, isn't it? It's, do you buy now, do you sell now? That's the hard part. If I could bring back one Lego game to be updated, what would it be? Lego Dimensions, hands down. Easiest choice, I think that is Lego Dimensions all day, every day. And it's because of the Skylanders aspect to it. I played Skylanders before Dimensions, and I absolutely loved how the game worked with bringing characters in. So you could imagine when those characters were made of Lego, I absolutely jumped on the idea of it. I think the only thing with Dimensions was I weren't playing games that much. So by the time I got really into Dimensions and like the Doctor Who pack, Dimensions was pulling the plug and there weren't many characters. So I think if Dimensions would still be updated, I'd probably have a lot more characters than I do. I got a few of the fun packs like Doctor Who, the Ghostbusters, Michelin Man, that pack. What are the packs? I've got a few of them. I don't remember most. A lot of them are parted out. I did have the discs. I think I actually sold the discs quite quickly after playing that. Same with the game. I probably sold them as a bundle and kept the minifigures, honestly, because people were just collecting the discs, much cheaper. There's both the wings, because no difference means we can build them same time. But what pieces are trying to escape? Get back here. One pole might be a bit easier to build out of as well than two. Oh wait, why don't we make sure these are all clipped down and we clip the speeder in? Hey, and then it can stand up on its own. Maybe I can swap these underslopes for orange. We'll see what it looks like built, but I do quite like the fact that that just fades into nothing. Same with this. I'm hoping the grey is able to be blocked out by the end of it. Have a few duplicate sealed dimensions packs. Yeah, dimensions is worth so much. Dimensions is that sort of game. There's so much to it that I'm sure every time you boot it up, there's either something new that you haven't worked out. I'm sure there's so many little bugs and Easter eggs in the game. Bugs in a positive way. You know, little ways of either breaking the game or finding shortcuts you never knew about. And also, there's probably so many characters that when you work your way through it, you've got, you know, you go back, restart it, and you've forgotten it all. Yeah, need the whole set. That's a completionist right there. Do you have, I mean, it depends what you play it on. I don't know if the computer actually has the equivalent of Xbox and PlayStation Platinum trophies, but I assume you have something like that for completing the game, besides the ones you're missing. Probably one for the main game. What am I saving in this situation? Cloud City Boba Fett, Mr. Gold, or Chrome Black Darth Vader? I think it has to be Chrome Black Darth Vader. Like pristine editions of them all, it has to be Chrome Black Darth Vader. Oh, Mr. Gold. I enjoyed the Mr. Gold hunt. I know Lego got into trouble for kind of rigging it, and they didn't do it how they were officially meant to do it. But yeah, oh, has to be Chrome Black Darth Vader. Any of the Chrome minifigures. Mr. Gold was a Chrome minifigure. Any of the gold minifigures in pristine condition. It's so hard to get anything that could substitute for them. Whereas Cloud City Boba Fett, Lego could come out with any day now and just crash the market with a new, like an anniversary one. Okay, it would probably have an anniversary logo on the back, but I think that would still affect the market as to what the figures are worth. A bit like the yellow face Leia. They released an anniversary minifigure of her, and the actual minifigure from, I think it only come in one set. There's an exclusive minifigure that came in one set, and the value of that fig dropped down by a decent chunk from what it was worth. Could you imagine Lego just re-release it in a magazine? There was a scare of them doing that in Poland, I think it was, the Polish magazine, because they had the image in the back, but it was just from a comic, something like that. Nothing to do with the actual poly bag, but it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. What, you play PS5 and won't play till you have everything. Oh, so that is going to be real nice, booting up the game and being able to place all the packs on. Just lining them up. I can almost picture them just being lined up. I had 30, 40 minifigures on the desk, you know, compared to how many Dimensions packs there are, there's more than 40 packs. But I had like 30, 40 minifigures on the desk that I was putting back on my display. And I have a feeling it'll be a little bit like that, just seeing them all stood up. Paid in 3 days. Oh. Chrome Stormtrooper or Chrome Darth Vader? Ooh. Oh. See, the Chrome Trooper, for some reason, I think the Chrome, I don't think it's the Chrome Trooper, it's the Solid Bronze Trooper or something. Yeah, the Solid Bronze Trooper I think I'm thinking of. That was the rarer one. I'm probably going to say the Trooper, the Chrome Stormtrooper, because Vader's cool. No offense to Vader, but we get a load of variations of Vader. I think the Trooper one is more unique than Vader. So I'm going to save the Chrome Trooper. That feels like the wrong answer. No wrong answers here, but that does feel like the wrong answer. The ball joints for the wings. You see how the wings are looking. We've got a 1x3 in black because I had a ton of those to spare. Well, to hand, not to spare. There were a ton of those in my collection. Now there are a ton -2. Yeah, Lego could come out with an update for Dimensions. Pearl Gold, 3PO or Darth Revan. Oh, 3PO. I almost picked up it wasn't 3PO. There was a Chrome Hyang, custom minifigures these are, and I didn't realize just how big the Chrome custom fan base is, because I've seen Chrome Cad Bane selling on Etsy. I've seen everything, and well, no, I think I've seen everything, but I'm sure there's even more out there. I've seen so many chromed minifigures, and there really is a big fan base for just chromed characters. Taking official Lego minifigures, chroming them up, and oh, it's crazy how many of them are selling out there. Absolutely mind-boggling, for me at least. So I think I'd probably save a lot of the real chrome figures, but at the same point, I don't see myself ever picking up chromed minifigures, and it's the same for any rare minifigure. I know if I damage it, it's going to be so heartbreaking when I can just pay... When I can make my own custom, first off, I do own a lot of the parts because of the figures I sell in the store. And yeah, it's a lot easier to make them yourself, I guess. I think when I'm putting a minifigure together myself, it's more of the fact that it's one of one, unless I'm selling it on the store. Even if I'm selling it on the store, a lot of them are hand painted, so they are one of one. And also you get the accomplishment of doing it yourself. That cannot be beat by any sort of trek or any hunt for a minifigure. For me, I don't think I'm a completionist or a collector. I think I'm probably more on the side of a creator than a collector. I'd rather see something and try to put my spin on it. Try to not replicate it, because I know there's a bunch of knockoffs out there as well, but to, you know, do it my way, especially with some little details that I nitpick sometimes with Lego, but sometimes Lego has to be the option. Happy that I built this Snowspeeder as well, because I do think if I was putting together a mock, there are some things I just wouldn't think of from this. Not how my brain works. Jedi Council set easy. Oh, what would I rather? Dex Diner set or Jedi Council? There's a city set that come out, can't have been too long. It's the city diner, the modular diner. And I think if you take the diner from that, duplicate it and round off the top, that's your Dex Diner right there. So I'm looking, I've got that on the list. I've been looking at, at building that. Oh, hold on. I didn't see, is that what? Okay. Is that what these parts were missing from the other set? Oh, those two spare pieces we had might not have been spare. I've just seen them on the bottom of this speeder. On the wings, right here, we've got... Oh, they stopped the wings folding in. All right, the wings don't fold in. Well, that was the only thing I said about it. There you go. These two little pieces in there stop the wings from folding in. Good thing we didn't miss that out, right, chat? Yeah, so with Dex Diner, I think Dex Diner is quite straightforward to mock together with existing Lego sets, so it'd have to be the Jedi Council set, especially if that's some sort of diorama with all the council. It doesn't even have to be all the council. I think crop out Yoda, Mace, and a few of the other common Jedi around this bit, and we just get the rest of the council. Attack of the Clones would be my council. That'd be the one I want. But I think they might go with a Revenge of the Sith if Lego were to. I think that's what they'd go with. Last night you got the Lego Jurassic World game after having it on Wii for ages. You got it on PlayStation. Nice, when you got an upgrade. I've been trained in your Lego game arts by TT Games. Sad to see that TT Games aren't really a thing. I don't really know what went down with them, to be honest. I didn't follow it along too well, but hopefully we can get, because we haven't got a Lego game since it feels like Skywalker Saga, and that was a few years ago now. So hopefully Lego can get back into the art of making games, and there's meant to be still another Harry Potter and Batman game in the works, in development. Pure rumours, no idea. But I wouldn't mind seeing maybe not a Wizarding World game. Maybe Fantastic Beasts. That'd be cool. But I do think another Batman game would be nice to line up. Not even a Batman game, a new DC game. They could do a game for the Superman movie. It really just comes down to people asking for games. We need a company to come in and want a Lego game made so badly that Lego come out of this short-term retirement. What a lineup for Dex Diner. Zam, Django, Kenobi, Dex. All right, we've got Dex. Dex's Diner. We've got Dex. We've got Kenobi. We've got the droid, the serving droid. And you know what? Django's just come out. I think Zam would be a good idea. Zam hiding out somewhere behind the diner. Maybe there's a bit of pavement out front, something like that. We then get one alien to go with Zam. We get 2 aliens inside the diner. And I think there was an astromech. I remember something about an astromech in the kitchen. And I don't remember why that was. I think those 8 figures, we make it modular-esque. So, you know, instead of it stacking up, maybe the roof comes off and there's 2 sides that clip. I think they're the 8 figs I'd go for. Oh, Lego Horizons. Yes, forgot about that game. We got Lego sets of that game. I played a little bit of the VR Horizons, but not a lot of the Lego. I haven't played any of the Lego game. A bit like the Cantina. Maybe a smaller scale Cantina. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I wouldn't be opposed to a new DC game. I'd love to see something for some newer, maybe not Batman related, more so DC. I know we got a Justice League something. I don't know if that was just a Lego movie level. I remember playing a little bit of DC. Just need a little bit more. A gift with purchase with Dex Diner could be a diorama of the Coruscant Chase. Yeah, with some smaller speeders. Actually, maybe the gift with purchase is where Zam comes into it as an exclusive figure. Because a lot of gift with purchases recently haven't had those exclusive figures. Like Zam, the Nazgul wasn't exclusive because we already got the torso somewhere else. It was only the torso that was printed. Zam at 50 is annoying. Yeah, that's a minifigure that loads of people want and just can't because of the prices online. There's a few custom Zams that I've seen that are good, but the dual-sided head that Lego set up, I wonder if Lego would go with a dual-sided head, or if Lego instead would try something like something like what they did with Dungeons, and rather than dual-sided, just give 2 heads so that we can swap them out for Zam's unhumanoid face, or humanoid. Yeah. But if you're a purist, there's a lot of money to be spending out for one minifigure. Where is the other one? There's another round plate here somewhere. Or is there? Maybe there's not. Maybe there's not. Trying to keep the back orange so we've got an extra tile on top. Though, that looks a bit bulky. Just a tad. What I might do is completely remove this segment. So we can get rid of these pieces and any other round ones we might have. And I'll just get another orange tile to go across because this whole section is supposedly orange. Maybe even an orange 2x3. Do I own any of them? Let's have a look. I probably own some 2x2s. Oh, and 2x6s. Can we just split this in half across the 2 wings? 2x4s, yeah, none of the 2x3s. Any 1x3s? No. Would this fit? It might work. That might work. But also we would want the other side to slope down. Ah, wait, I know what we can use. So we want the 2x2s instead of the 1x2s. Yeah, and then we could use our new favorite piece. Yes, the lightsaber hilt series. I don't think there's many other, because they've done Luke's, they've done Yoda as the gift with purchases, and the plaques are what make them exclusive. But there's, I guess there's a few lightsabers they could do. I think they'd be better off releasing them as sets, and I don't know if they'd do them as a collectible lightsaber series, like miniature lightsaber hilts that can be collected and add up, or if they'd try to make the gift with purchases as sets. I don't think they'd go down too well. Well, not compared to the ones that are already selling. I think they're doing pretty good. Is this underneath? No, because that would be a flat stud. Maybe we could just swap this out for some 1x4s and slopes. All right, I'm going to keep this on for the minute, just because that is how the set would have you build it. We can leave bits out, but I don't want to change too much. Like these 4 studs here that I'm changing to a round 2x2. We'll exclude that. That's the exception. Ah, that looks nice, actually. Normally this is all Technic. We have that one Technic wheel. But besides that one Technic wheel, there you go. I'll flip it around so you can see a bit more of the wings we're building. That is really nice. No change in these wedges because they're both grey. They'd make a fine addition to your collection. Have I heard about the Spider-Verse series? Yes. Yeah, it's a collectible minifigure. I guess they're collectible minifigures. I think they are their own series because it's what, series 1 through to 20 something, and this is like a 0.5. This is the licensed series. Dooku's hilt is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. That's the only Lego Star Wars hilt, the actual hilt that I'm missing. Maybe that one would be a good gift with purchase. Yeah, sub-theme. That works. Would like a Darth Jar Jar. Like, oh, a buildable Darth Jar Jar. I think a buildable Jar Jar would be, good. Hello there, Rebecca. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for liking as well. Don't forget, drop a like on the stream, and what does Nightbot say? Drop a like if you're having fun and subscribe for more. Something like that. Thank you for doing both. Got some snow on the side of this Snowspeeder. Also, the Sand Speeder might look good like this if we build this in tan. I think 2 speeders is enough for one stream, but if we end up coming back to this model, I would love to build it in tan. Maybe we've got like snow, which I'm counting as water, cold water. We've got fire, we've got sand, which is kind of like earth. I think we're only missing like an air speeder. Maybe a translucent speeder would work for that. I'm not quite sure how we'd pull that one off. Yeah, some sort of translucent speeder might look pretty cool. Oh, missing some 2x3s. They're just up here as well. Right, add that to the missing piece count. That's what we had, 1 piece. Did we have 1 piece earlier, or did we find it? We might have found that. So we've got like 3 pieces we've been missing today. That's not too bad. And then the slopes are a lot easier when they're all one colour. And that blocks off the rest of the engines. Look at those engines. Look at that. This does feel like a custom Lego set. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe the detail on the greebling in there just doesn't feel like a Lego set. It's in that odd space between. Can't forget the jumpers. They are important. I feel like I'm going to have a bunch of spare pieces left. Maybe we're not missing any. And then the extra cool jumpers, the ones with 2 studs. I really like these ones. And that's holding up the front again. I don't think we put it on quite yet. I'm going to jump a little ahead with it. Because now basically the whole thing is done. I went with white for these big slopes at the front. Should I have gone with grey? I feel like a lot of the rest of it was grey, which is my reasoning for making these white. Just so we've got that little bit of white, a little bit of snow on it, a little bit of maybe frost. Something to keep the white theme throughout. Otherwise, the very few white pieces we've used will end up standing out a bit more. But maybe the entire thing should be grey if you're trying to part this out yourself. And then the last, oh look, here's the slopes we were missing from the first piece. Of course they show up now. They're the ones that I ummed and ahed about changing to 1x2s and then put them back in the wrong bag. And there's the wings for it, minus the big fins on either side. Which, all right, what do we do with these wings? Want to tie a panther in Lego next? Whoa. One of your cats had kittens. Time to build them a Lego throne. Do you think Lego are going to come out like they did with the Dalmatian from 101 Dalmatians? Do you think they'll come out with kittens for the giant cat? That'd be quite cool. All right. So these clip in just like so. So that's actually quite nice in terms of how close that is to the rest of the speeder. I think we will be keeping those bricks to fill that gap. And there we are, the other side. But we do want a bit more orange there. Do I even own those snot bricks in orange? Let's have a look. Here's my tray of snot bricks. I do own those snot bricks in orange, so we could swap them out. Oh wait, do I have two or do I have one? Okay, that idea went out the window real quick. I only have one of those snot bricks, so we can't swap them around. Used by the giant cat. There'd be a cat war. And that is all for the recolor of the speeder. So there's the force burner Snowspeeder. And here's our non-burner Snowspeeder, I guess, alongside the force burner. There's the two of them. What have we just popped off? Oh, one of the black clips. All right. Let's get that back on. Angle it just inwards. And I do think that speeder is hidden very well behind that. Look at that. You can't really see the speeder at all. Crazy how well we've hidden it. And also I feel like once you've built a set, that goes to show how quickly you can build the rest, because this stream's been going on for what, 2 hours now? And it took us about an hour and a half to build this one versus 30 minutes for that one. So once you've built a set, it's definitely quicker the second time around. And that cockpit, I've made it clear I haven't made the same mistake as the Arc 170 that Lego released. I had to re-release with a different coloured cockpit. I've made the windows clear so you can see straight through it like you can in Empire when they're first flying in. We're going to have to get some figures for this. I'm thinking Luke and Dak Router. Is it in the back of Luke's? Because Wedge ends up surviving and is in a different speeder. Maybe this should be Wedge's here. Wedge was the figure I got from the 4+ Snowspeeder set. And we could add just unnamed pilots in the back of these. Give a little Luke down here. And an 80 ST UCS set for the time being until I build the UCS 8080. Which I'm going to have to order some parts for. But I think this recolor and getting rid of the fins definitely looks like it's out of the movie. Maybe the white up here should be light bluish grey as well. I'm going to play around with the colours, maybe make the entire thing grey. Those white arm pads on the inside, you can see they're definitely a good colour. Maybe a bit more brown or something on the inside as well to add colour to the seats. But you've also got the feature of the speeder that pops out. That one was a lot easier to pop out than the other Snowspeeder. And maybe that's for a quick getaway. Maybe this is a big brain playset. So to display it, you've got the single speeder on display. And then when you're playing with it, the snow trooper pops out from the back of the speeder, from like the back of the speeder on its own speeder, and that's actually a snow trooper set. But for carrying it around and displaying it, you can pop that up as the gunner. I think actually having the enemy hidden within is a good way to then display sets as just the one big build, because side builds don't get displayed a lot. You look at this little grassy section from the battle pack, that's not going to be on many people's display shelves, and I do think that could be something Lego could look at. A lot like the UCS sets, any side builds they have definitely are definitely have somewhere to hide the side builds, so that could be quite cool. You say it now, Lego need to release Jurassic Park sets, not Jurassic World. I think Jurassic World kind of now is just for like the Hooniverse or the Wizarding World. 8.5 million channel views, are we? Mental. Thank you so much for the millions and millions of views. I promise less than 1 million of them are me. I can't keep up with my own videos. I don't know how half of you do it. But yeah, I'm very happy that I built a recolored one as well. What do you think? Do you prefer the one on fire? Let's get rid of the microfighter. Or the regular colored one? Well, I actually prefer the grey one, which I like a bit of colour, but I think if I swapped out all the white pieces for grey, that's a perfect speeder there. And even with a little blaster on the end, I've grown quite attached to it now. I don't think I'll be replacing it. Thank you. It does. I should add a little poll. I should add a little poll to the chat. But that's going to be all for today's stream. I know it was a bit of a short one, just over 2 hours. So we are going to go live on Saturday. By then, I will have finished getting all the parts for the new Slave 1 Starfighter. Cannot wait to build that. I am so excited, because that is the final size of Slave 1 I need, besides rebuilding the Advent Slave 1, which I haven't I haven't found that. I think I did part it out when I built it, so I'm going to be rebuilding the one from the Advent. We've got the microfighter, we've got the playset, we've got the UCS Scout Slave 1 Starfighter, and all we're missing now is the I guess it's a mini Scout set. Even though it's a playset and it comes with minifigures, it is a midi Scout set. British time, it's only just gone 4. So it means I've got the rest of the day to basically part out the Slave 1 is what I'm going to be doing. Not too much fun you're missing out on, don't worry about that. And no Fortnite events today either. But if you have missed out, go check out the last stream where we upgraded the Juggernaut and the Battle Panic. Videos coming soon for that. And on Saturday, the stream's going to be 2 p.m. British time. Yes. British Saturday, 2 p.m. Saturday for most people, but British summertime, 2 p.m. So if you do want to check what that is, I haven't been uploading these streams early recently. They've been a few hours early. So some point today, I'm going to get that stream scheduled so you can see exactly when that is, wherever you are across the world. And yes, we will be building the Slave 1 Starfighter. So I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching the stream, and may the bricks be with you.